Tough series, tough way to end it after you win the first one to drop the other two. But it thought we started off there with a pretty good approach, and we're able to get some base runners in the first. Only pushing one across in the first, kind of. I thought we should have done a better job there. We had that kid on the ropes, and we kind of let him off. Kleck threw the ball great up until the sixth. I thought he was still throwing the ball really well. Just hung a breaking ball to Smith, and he got him with the grand slam. That was kind of the gut punch there. But last few innings we didn't put up zeros. Had we done that, we might still be playing. But bottom line, there's some things we got to clean up. Certainly, we got to get better. And there were some blunders on the bases that I take responsibility for. Those are things that we've coached, but not coached well enough. So those are things that when we get back to a practice day that we have to address and get better at. But all in all, it's a very good team over there. But I believe we're a very good team too, and we just got to keep grinding and move forward.
Looking at this weekend as a whole, how do you feel you started the weekend versus finished?
I think obviously you can look at the reality is we dominated the first game and we lost the other two. So I mean, put two and two together, we didn't finish the job. There were some bright spots. The second two games, there was also some very ugly spots, and the same can be said for the first game as well. We came up with some more clutch hits in the first game, and limited the damage on the defensive side of the ball. This last two games, there were some things that we got that we didn't do well, and work ahead in the counts. Kleck did a great job on the start. I no problem with how he threw the ball. He thought he threw it really, really well. But given the cheap runs late there that we just kind of lost focus, I mean, that kind of came back to bite us. Who knows what happens if we don't give up a 3 spot there in the ninth, and we come up and Dean hits the big home run there. All of a sudden we got ourselves a game. But bottom line, there's some things we got to clean up clearly, and that's the process of this season. We always have things we got to sharpen up at, and things we do well one day and not well the next day. So we'll learn from this and move forward.
Obviously not the result you wanted, but the team had 6 leadoff base hits. Is there a certain mindset you teach the guys when they're in the leadoff spot?
Our guys had
6
leadoff base hits.
Yeah.
Well, that's usually a good thing, but we have to do a better job of pushing those runs across. Obviously it's nice to get that leadoff hitter on and move him over, but again, there were some base running blunders. Again, I'll point the finger at myself on that. That we had opportunities to steal bases. We just had poor jumps. It was there for the taking. We just didn't do a very good job of executing what we had planned. But again, I take responsibility on that front, and we got to do a better job preparing them on the bases. But in situational hitting, I thought we did okay, but we could be better.
9 West Virginia stolen bases over the last 2 days. Was there anything to take away from how the Mountaineers kind of ran this weekend?
They have some athletic kids that are fast, and we were able to pick a couple kids off there and guess right on when they were going. But bottom line, they do a really good job of stealing bases in the right counts. The stolen a base of home or steal home there, we had to execute it right. We just got to catch the ball at the plate, and that's Briggsy's the guy that I want there every single time. He got sped up and didn't catch it, but I mean, that guy's out by 6 feet if we catch the ball there. And but the other guys, they have some athletic kids that can really run, and they do a good job stealing bases. So that's something with the team speed aspect that they put pressure on us on that, and did a good job.
The team was 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. Is there anything you attribute that to when you watch it happen, or is it just kind of something that goes back and forth? I
mean, what were we on Friday? I mean, it happens. You have good days and bad days. We continually to preach, get the ball up in the zone, and we did chase a lot of stuff. And that kid makes his living by sinking the ball and throwing off-speed pitches below the zone. And if we're not going to get him up in the zone, then we're going to hit balls in the ground and double plays and things like that don't win games. So we have to do a better job of sticking with our approach and sticking with our plan of attack.
Willie, we're generally around the middle of the season now. How would you evaluate the team overall compared to what you thought the team would be going into the year?
I knew there was going to be areas where we're going to have to improve upon and areas that we would be successful, and that is pretty much par for the course right now. We have to continue. We're never going to be there. We always got to keep coaching and keep pushing these guys and fine-tuning where we can get better. And, that's kind of the takeaway from this series when you're playing against a good team like this is, okay, there's areas that we got exposed that we have to get better at. And we can sit and dwell on the 2 losses and the wins and losses and the results, or we can get better on the process and do a better job of coaching and getting these guys better. So,
in what ways do you have the most confidence in this team?
Well, we have a lot of guys that are capable of doing what we need to do. We have guys that are capable of starting and doing a good job giving us length, but we haven't been consistent enough there. We have guys out of the bullpen that are very good power arms that are good enough to be power arms. We just at times have been really good and at times we haven't been good. We have dudes that can swing the sticks really good. And at times we've been really good and at times we haven't. So for me, it's just an overall consistency thing that we have to continue pushing on. And the light flickers at times and they really get it, and there's times where it doesn't, and we got to remind them and keep going and keep pushing. But that's our job. We'll keep pressing on these guys, but overall I'm pleased with the makeup of our team. I'm pleased with the effort level, the overall depth that we have. We have the right pieces. We just have to be able to execute better.
In the 6th inning, that's when the floodgates opened, but did you feel confident that Klecker could navigate that jam by himself out there, and that's why you kept him in?
Absolutely. I mean, he's done it before. He's done it plenty of times. He's a veteran arm. He was getting a lot of soft contact, and we liked the matchup there. And said I think he just made one tough pitch there where it was a hanging breaking ball right down the middle, and kid didn't miss it. So.
And just like one of the players that is constant night in, night out is Landon Harrison. What have you made of how hot he's been over these last few games?
He's done a great job. Obviously, he's kind of on another level right now than everybody else, and kind of in that zone to where you let him go and do his thing. He's been playing outstanding.
In the 1st inning, Harrison had that home run, and then you had a bunch of other runners get on base. But then there was kind of a reset going into the 2nd through the 5th where there wasn't scoring. Was that more on their end with the pitcher kind of blocking in a little bit more, or was that something that you guys needed to execute more?
Well, the 1st inning he hit 3 guys, so he put runners on himself. Obviously, he made that adjustment and wasn't hitting as many guys every inning. But again, we were making contact, but we weren't making hard contact, and that's what a guy with good movement on his ball does to you. I mean, it gives you the illusion that it's going to be a good pitch to hit, and then it has last-minute movement, and we hit weak ground balls or weak fly balls. But at the end of the day, if we go back and look at that, I think we'll find that if the pitches up in the zones are the ones we did damage on. So we have to continue to stay disciplined to that approach.
I know it's probably not the first thing that's on your mind, but it seemed like there was a pretty large contingency watching tonight. To be able to get these games on national television, and not only you guys, but have West Virginia agree to that and go out a day later, what do you make of how this kind of game, getting these games on Sunday night, exposes your program and the sport of college baseball as a whole?
Well, I think that's great that we're nationally televised tonight. Obviously, we would have liked a different result with that, but I think at the end of the day, people get a chance to see some of our great players, what they're doing, the job that Landon Harrison's doing, Dean Toigo, those guys that are swinging the heck out of it right now, and they get to see our ballpark, they get to see how gorgeous the weather is, all that type of stuff, and again, we would like to play better and shown better, but at the end of the day, getting exposure is a good thing.
Beyond just flushing it, how do you hope to see your players extract the most value out of a losing weekend like this?
Well, we're not going to just completely flush this. I mean, we're not talking about it today. We're going to meet tomorrow before We got another game tomorrow, but we're going to discuss these things that we have to work on. Now is not the right time today after the game. These guys have been grinding, playing a lot of baseball, but there are things that we definitely need to address and get better at.
Coach, in the bottom of the first, team struck early, but then it took 6 innings to see the next run score. Do you think that pressure on the pitchers kind of didn't let this game go your way?
No, I don't. I mean, if you look at the outing that Kleck had against TCU, it was very similar. So he goes out and does his job, very workmanlike. Our offense just, we've been spoiled a lot because we score a lot of runs, and I think everyone expects us to score runs at will whenever we want. It's baseball's tough, man. We gotta, we have to keep scrapping and fighting and stay disciplined to things. And we struck late, but it wasn't enough.
With what you've
Last
seen
question.
from some of the country's best, knowing the mistakes to fix, do you still feel like this team is far from its ceiling?
I do. I know there's more in there for sure. And that's our job to get the maximum out of it. And again, when you face these teams that are not only talented but very well coached, and there's things that I can look in the mirror and say, hey, I got out-coached on a couple of these things. I got to do a better job myself, first and foremost. And then continue coaching our players accordingly to where they have to get better as well. So that's the benefit of playing really good teams, is not only you get to face them, you get to see where we stack up, but you also get to learn from it, and you get to move forward and hopefully sharpen those things up for the rest of the season. But at some point we hopefully we'll peak and hit our stride. I think we're close, but we're not quite there yet.